Ladies and gentlemen, what will you do when you find out the man you're planning to spend the rest of your life with is married? Is there a law that can deal with someone who refuses to stick to his promise of marriage? Now hold on to that thought. You can join this conversation on all of our social media platforms at MX24GH with the hashtag BrokenPen, or send us your messages via WhatsApp 0550 331 511 0550 331 511. My name is Yabitha and I'm trying to fix this broken pen, of course. With my very beautiful, she's on my right, and I know a lot of you already know the face, you know the name. I don't have to speak plenty, like plenty talk is pour the soup, you understand? Ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful, endowed influencer, Enyonam Hosi. Hi, Enyonam. You're so beautiful.
Thank you. Me too.
Glasses look kind of cool, you know. And I've got, and to my father, we can't left and right, but shining in our studios, Kalana Tosso, Vivia fine, very demure, very mindful, very fair, very, oh, goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth Abuaje, also known as Fun Eyes. Now, I'm curious about the Fun Eyes. I'm curious about the Fun Eyes. Where did Fun Eyes come from?
So, Fun Ice is my nickname.
Okay.
Okay, relating it to the ice cream. But then I wanted to maintain it, so I had to put it in the artistic way. Yeah. So
oh, okay. Why did you like to use Fun Ice? Do you like to drink Fun Ice?
I used to like the ice cream a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. Way back in
And
high
then me too, if I'm looking for nickname, don't see more. Men count with it. Would you ever strawberry? Yeah, exactly. And we've got a meal, and I'm so glad he's here because tonight's conversation is quite a controversial one, ladies and gentlemen. He's an Esquire. Hey, Edino, well. Oh, a Christ and a Christian. Christ. Yeah. Did you come to die for our...
I'm not the one.
You're not the one.
Yeah.
Hey, you see the way he has removed himself. God can send anybody except him. So Christ, a G.
A G.
Oh, a G.
Yeah.
You're a lawyer. How is that career like? Is it
it's
that
not
tough?
An interesting one.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I didn't cry.
You have to carry people's problems on your head.
On your head?
Yeah, so
like plantain chips.
at the time of sleeping, you're thinking about somebody's
So while we are sleeping,
exactly.
Then you are...
It's my headache.
Why did you punish yourself like that? Why?
I don't think it's punishment.
Yes, it is. You could have become a soldier or a policeman.
That is punishment, for sure.
But it's nice to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Before we start, Telecel says... you're about to have the world at your fingertips because the wait is finally over. Telecel is here. Now you have everything you want and need: quick and reliable communication, stress-free money transactions via Telecel Cash, transforming your big business ideas into success stories with Telecel Business and more. Connect with Telecel and enjoy a world of endless possibilities because with Telecel, there is no limit to connections. Telecel, connecting energies. And now I want to remind you all of Osagyefos Night. MX24 presents Osagyefos Night, Trigmatic and Friends live in concert. Join us as we celebrate the legacy of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana's creative industry on the 4th of October 2024. The concert will star Trigmatic, AEC, Episode, Akable, Joss Black, and Nana Asase, backed by the Adrimpa Band in a thrilling concert that brings to life live music, dance, and theater. Concert kicks off at 6 p.m. this Friday, 4th October 2024 at Alliance Francaise. You can dial *365*88*44# on all networks to get your tickets or visit www.trigmaticmusic.com. Osagyefos Night Concert is powered by MX24 and supported by the Africa Arts Network, Alliance Francaise, Black Tribe, Mozo TV, Gayhawk Distilleries, and refreshed by Sahara Ginger. Now we've gotten to the part where you all love. Our topic today, our broken pen today is titled, I Can't Marry You. Let's try to fix this after this short commercial break. We'll be right back. To repair this broken pen from our studios here at MX24, we have Nax Cocktail Bar as usual to refresh us as we delve into this bothering issue. Now today you can see that we're looking very classy, very mindful. Let me use the word very demure because you can see we got the wine glass. We whipped out the wine glass just for you guys, you know, for the premiere of the second season of the broken pen. Now Nax says embrace that enchanted spectacle that will leave memories worth repeating with your guests. What's your vibe? No matter your take or vibe in life, we've got you covered. Your best plug for all your local and cocktail bar treats. Call us on 054 010 1370. 0540 101 370 or on all our social media handles Zicopai on Instagram and TikTok. Let me remind you that this is an interactive show, so send your comments, your reactions and opinions to any of our social media platforms at MX24GH with the hashtag BrokenPen, or you can send your comments and reactions via our WhatsApp number 0550 331 511. And now to today's story.
Dear viewers, I'm confused and I don't know what to do. This is my story. I'm a 23-year-old lady who works for a real estate company in Kumasi. I love my work so much, and everyone around me knows how passionate I am about things that concern me. I met this man called Kwesi through my boss in the office. He's my boss's brother and had come to visit our company upon arriving in Kumasi, where our company is located. He was very nice to me, and I liked his vibe. We became friends, and after 7 months, he asked me to become his girlfriend. Things had moved nicely with us to the extent we started considering marriage. One day, he opened up to me about the fact that he had been married before, but he and his wife were no more. He was in his 30s. I began trusting him. He was based in Accra, so occasionally when I got the chance, I would pick a bus and go visit him in Accra. We spent a lot of time together. He decided to come and introduce himself to my parents. Happy. He came home and members of my family received him well. I introduced him as my boyfriend, and he also informed my father of his intention to marry me. But in all this, my mom didn't seem happy. One Friday morning, I woke up feeling tired and feverish. I began vomiting. I decided to pass by the hospital to run some tests. Lo and behold, the results came and I was 3 months pregnant. I wasn't shocked because I know what I do, and I didn't know how to react. I called Kwesi to inform him about what had happened. For about 5 minutes on the call, he said nothing. He then replied and said he'll call me back. I was confused because at this point, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't tell anyone. After 2 days, Kwesi called me back. I was pushing hard for us to get married before my stomach started showing. But Kwesi didn't like the idea. He kept saying we should wait and all. I was confused. Weren't we planning marriage? But he continued to send money for my upkeep. After some months, I stopped hearing from Kwesi. His brother also complained of not being able to reach him. I was due at this point. My boss had taken care of me and helped me to the labor ward to deliver. I delivered a bouncy baby boy on Sunday, just like his dad, Chrissy. I had gotten pregnant and given birth without being married. And this was just too much to handle. Three months after giving birth, Chrissy came to visit me. He didn't look all right. He looked so disturbed. He mentioned he had something to tell me. At this point, I was getting confused and disturbed. Kwesi told me that we couldn't get married any longer. I was shocked. What is the reason? Don't you love me anymore? I began asking questions. He said he still loved me, but he can't marry me again because he and his wife have reconciled and are back together. His wife? Kwesi, you are married? I thought you were divorced. Apparently, he was still in the process of the divorce. It wasn't finalized yet, but he was hoping it would end in some months. In the process, he and his wife rekindled their love and are back together. And he admits he can't leave her. What do I do? I am confused. Help me out now.
I don't know if I should describe this as a sad story, as a life's lesson, or an experience. Esquire, what do you make of this story?
I think it's all three that you mentioned, right? So it's sad, right?
Yeah.
But then you've learned something from it and you've
Yeah.
experienced whatever has happened, right? So afterwards, I don't think you put yourself in a position where this thing can happen again. So then all three will apply.
This is the proper life lesson, because
mean,
you've carried.
You'll be scarred for life, but it's part of life, I guess.
And you know, let me start with you. Do you think it is advisable to start a relationship right after a divorce, let alone while you are in the process of a divorce?
Definitely not. I don't think you're in the right frame of mind to be in a relationship right after a divorce. It's most probably a rebound. So I don't think it's not something you should do.
Yeah.
Even after a regular breakup.
Look at the emotions,
Exactly.
the pain, the torment, the torture.
Exactly. So
Wow.
right after a divorce or in the middle of a divorce. That's not.
Fanais, if a man came to you and told you that, you know what, I love you, I want to marry you, but he doesn't tell you that he's in the process of a divorce, and you find out, what is the one thing you're going to do? Assemble sad, once in a fan like they're sad. You understand?
I think I would back out. Yeah, because I still have a chance to go.
Yeah.
Because I think if you like someone, you should be honest right from the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he hid that, and then he had to open up later. So right there, you have to run away.
Wait, I'm coming back to you, Christ. Say, okay, this story has happened. We've heard the story. Now that, do you feel like she probably was in a rush to be in a relationship or to get married, and that is why she didn't do enough background checks?
I don't think she was in a rush. And then one thing I'll say is background checks won't save you from things like this. You can check and still not find.
And still not find.
Right. So you only go into it when you are convinced that you want to. You only make the move when you are convinced. You can search if they want to hide from you, they can't hide
They
from
can't
you.
hide
right?
it from
So
you.
it's really,
I
it
feel
has
like
nothing to do with
she
that.
should have checked because it was her boss's
Madam,
brother.
check what?
Yes. Like you could have
Your
asked
boss
your
can lie to you.
boss.
No.
The boss can lie to you.
No, but you're checking
my
for
brother,
what?
I mean.
Now you're checking for what?
No, because that was
People
going to
feel-
bring me to
yeah.
my second question.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that her boss lied to her, knowing
Yeah, I
that
was going
his
to say
brother
that.
Yeah.
was
No, like
in the
in what
process
sense?
of getting a divorce.
Yeah, because
No,
the
but then
brother.
it's two sides.
Yes.
We don't even know if the brother was aware of what was going
Okay,
Okay, I
on.
know
going on.
that
Yes,
the part where people
So we
like to
can't
keep divorces.
assume-
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so
okay.
he is free. Let's leave him.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
he's not.
concentrate. We
But he
don't
knew
know.
How
he
is it
was
not free?
married.
He knew-
and
he
he
knew
knew
He
he
was
was
married,
coming
but
for
he didn't know
his
what was
stuff.
going on between the
Yes.
two of them. To the extent that they were
Yeah,
going
because
to
he knew because she says that when she got pregnant, her
She
boss was helping.
told,
The boss, yes. So
and
it,
then
so,
the
so,
boss
so,
decided
so it will
that
come
was
like a surprise
after.
even to the boss at a
So that's
point.
after the fact.
Yes.
We can't be sure whether
If he
knew.
knew
Yes,
during the
they were having something.
So
it can be
that
like
is
your
different.
friends.
So
Yes.
we can't blame him for
Not
his
yes.
Oh, really?
He's okay.
Yeah, oh, no, you can't blame
Okay.
the
But
boss.
even
Yeah,
if
you can't
he knew,
really-
he wouldn't.
So who do we
Exactly.
blame in this
Oh,
situation?
We
we should
blame
blame the
both of
lady.
them.
No, we should blame the
Both
lady.
of them actually.
Zico, why should we
We'll
blame
blame
the
the
lady?
lady.
No,
See,
the man.
me, I be lady, be proud. No, we have proud side chicks in Ghana.
Uh-huh.
We have proud side chicks in the world. Madam,
Wow.
yes.
So
The
you
thing-
want her to be a proud
Yes, be a proud side chick.
But she didn't want to be a side chick, she wants to be main
my
chick.
dear, that thing, Yawana Pai.
But he
No,
lied
you see,
from
she
the
didn't go
beginning
in.
too.
The man didn't
As a
lie.
side chick.
The man didn't lie. The man told you the
lied.
truth.
He
That
omitted
I
the
no,
truth.
he said I'm
Tell the
having a
truth, you
divorce.
lied.
No, she said
Later.
I'm having or I'm divorced. Yes,
Later, after
but later
seven
I've
months.
reconciled. But
7
later
months?
I've reconciled with my wife. It happens. People go back to bang their exes. That one it happens. What do we say? People
Wow.
do their exes even though they are married.
I understand what you're
It
saying.
happens.
But
So, please,
he did it
accept
from
the
her
fact.
for 7 months.
Yeah, but accept the
Exactly.
fact the man is ready to take care of the child.
No, he's not.
But he
Says
ghosted.
who?
He
he
ghosted. Yeah, he
disappeared.
ghosted.
No. The man never goes.
Hey!
He was sending money for
But
our
after
kids.
7 months, he disappeared.
But you know, mental health. Will you know he was also going through a phase? How will you know?
Who
He was-
said he?
Really?
Yeah, he was probably going through
You
a
should
phase.
fix your divorce.
No, but he said
then
But you
move
should
to
have
a
fixed
the
your
man came
divorce.
back.
Wait,
the man
Esquire.
came back. He was not looking fine. And everything else he said, he was not looking
Esquire,
fine.
are there situations where a couple have come for a divorce, right? And then some way, somehow, they decide, okay, you know what, I don't want to have the divorce again.
It happens every day.
Thank
And then
you.
90
Love sweet.
out of
Then
100%.
why start the divorce
sweet.
proceedings?
No, that's the thing. So you have a problem, and then you feel like
Yeah.
we can't reconcile.
Yeah.
So it's best we do away, like we break up the marriage, right? But then in the process, if you're able to reconcile, nothing stops you from coming back.
So why are you reconciled? Why didn't you tell the girl?
No, you don't know when it's going to start, right? I mean, these people's issue is different because from the beginning he didn't say the truth.
Oh,
Yes.
Chairman,
So
say
that's
who
different.
that he told the
didn't say
girl.
the
He
truth.
No, but if I
told the
say-
girl that my dear,
If I say-
I'm getting or I'm divorced. Oh, come
No, but
on.
if I say
The
I'm
girl even
divorced,
said
it's
it.
different from saying
The girl-
I am
I'm in the
getting
process
divorced.
Yes,
of
Exactly.
getting
But
divorced.
so far as I filed for it, I am.
Filing
No,
for it
you're
is
not.
not.
Chairman,
Look,
me-
there are situations.
Me, I filed. I tell you, it's over.
No, but
it's
you see-
over.
you
we,
see-
we can have that
But the
thing.
girl
We
even
can have that
thought
thing even.
he had divorced.
Yes.
Look, there
Not
was a
even in the
situation that I
process.
know of. There are situations where a couple can say we are separated and they are still living together.
but
With
they-
somebody like that, if you come
But how will you be
see
scared?
me pair,
But how will you be
one
scared?
issue small.
Issues
Run
which
away.
issues?
Small.
Yeah.
Because your wife is still there.
Oh.
I want to see that you are fully emancipated
From
from the
what?
marriage.
From what?
From the marriage.
From
I
what?
need to see that if this is the marriage, this is you. You understand?
You outside.
It should be in the compound.
Yeah.
You understand? You cannot be, this is the marriage, this is you. and
Yeah,
tell
I'm
me that.
surprised though.
You're looking
You're
at
No,
your
no, 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 no,
ex-wife.
no, no, no. I'm
What
really
if your wife comes to
I'm,
look for
I'm
me?
really surprised.
Right?
It's gonna meet
I'm
me.
saying the lady should be a proud side chick. Enjoy your role. Let things be.
But
But
he
that's not what
didn't
she
even
signed
propose.
up
But then
for.
when you
Yeah,
make
that's not what
somebody
she
a
signed
side
up
chick,
for.
oh.
No, is
But
that
that's not what she signed
Yeah.
up
no?
for.
But right now, per the state and the situation you find yourself,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
my dear, are you going to let the child grow without a father? Are you going to let a man be responsible?
I don't
and
want
take-
my child to be with a lying, dishonest
Oh,
father.
but
Thank you very much.
see, even the honest man cry. The Bible says we've all fallen short. So please,
I haven't fallen short. Oh. I refuse to fall short of anything.
Amen.
But I'm rounding back to Esquire. Esquire, does the law of Ghana have anything in relation to such situations? Like, can I go and sue the person, say he lied to me, he impregnated me, he didn't tell me that he was married,
So you're not going to sue because he lied to you, first of all. You're not going to sue because he impregnated you, right?
Okay.
So we are going to look at the whole circumstance and see if you have a remedy. You can go to court in the first place.
Okay.
There's something we call breach of promise to marry.
Okay.
Right?
Hey, Chairman. I beg.
Breach of promise to marry.
I beg. So the
You
girls
want
them
to,
promise
if you
me.
tell me that you
I
marry
beg.
me, you don't marry me.
Chairman, please, yes. Yeah.
Let
Yeah,
him
I don't
explain
agree
it.
with that.
So that we can take
No.
notes.
Yes.
So let's
let's
not be
explain.
quick to jump to the fact
Oh,
that
please,
you can
we
just
are
go to-
jumping.
I'll go.
So first off,
I'm on my way.
so we understand marriage to be a contract.
Yeah.
Right? We say it's a special contract.
social contract,
right?
yeah.
And then for the purpose of this discussion, let's understand a contract to be something like an arrangement between two people to do something.
Okay.
So I'll marry you too. So we are going to get married. We've agreed to do something. to
Verbal
get married.
contract now. We've done
I mean, nobody really
it.
writes.
You shouldn't. Me, I'm
No,
not
no,
writing.
but we
You know
signed-
what?
oh, Bobby.
After this thing, I have to write
Yeah,
it down.
that's later.
I'll
But
write
like
my
at
own
the
down.
beginning of
At the
proposing,
beginning of
nobody writes like
proposing and
be my
those-
girlfriend.
Okay, be
no,
my okay.
nobody.
Okay, they write
nobody
I'll
on
does
take
the
that.
picture
plate,
of
so-
the,
Oh, no, but-
yes, if
no,
you write to the
that's-
plate,
that's
I'll take a
different.
picture.
Chairman, we'll be sending
And
text
even,
messages. We'll be
even
sending
that
text
writing
messages.
on the pleats,
Yes.
it's not all of them that will amount to the promise that we see in law to give you right to a remedy.
Okay.
So somebody
no.
can say, I want to marry you, all right.
Yeah.
But I said it for saying it's sake. So the promise itself must be serious. We say it is serious because looking at the point of the promise, the only thing we can see afterwards is us actually getting married, right?
Okay.
So for example, if your girl, you're a lady, you go to a guy's house, you cook some nice jollof and he says, oh, this jollof is nice, I want to eat it for the rest of my life, so I'm going to marry you. And then you carry it on your head that yes, he's going
Like
to marry you.
plantain juice.
And if he breaks up with you, you are going to sue him. Nobody will take
He
that
made me cook
promise.
jollof for you.
Chairman,
that
I've been
promise-
watching for him. Yes. I
But
can
then
sue.
we
For
will
waste of
assume that
time.
you chose to do those things. For a promise to
okay.
be seriously made, it can be in the fact of going to do a knocking ceremony, going to see your parents, taking drinks and everything.
Yes,
Or these days, what we see on social media, they write, will you marry me with the lights, fireworks and everything, and people are around. We have witnesses, right? So everybody there, from a reasonable person's perspective, we can tell that you are coming to get married. That is why he's doing that. So that's like a clear intention, and we will read the seriousness into
Within
the
it, okay.
situation, right? So considering this, and then you cook jollof, we are in the house, just the two of us, I say I'll marry you. Nobody's going to
If I
get
cook
serious.
jollof for anybody, make them call me Fatima.
So after the promise has been made, if we consider the promise to be serious, then the next part is going to determine if you've breached the promise. Like we said, for there to be a contract, exchange of promises, right? We are going to do something. If you do it, you've performed your part of the contract. If you don't do it, you've breached.
Yeah.
So after considering the promise, the exchange of promise, then we will consider whether there has been a breach. And the breach, we see it in two forms. Breach in terms of, on that day, I don't show up. Or on the day we are supposed to get married, I don't show up. Or on the day we are supposed to get married, I say I won't do again. So that one, the time of performance has come because we agreed to get married on this particular day, right? So we call that breach by non-performance. You didn't perform, right? And then there's a possibility that even before the day will come, you do something that will put you out of the power to enter into the marriage in the first place, right? So in anticipation of the marriage, you've breached. So that will be anticipatory breach, right? So breach by non-performance and anticipatory breach.
Like, we have plenty of questions. So.
Let me
We have
just
plenty
wrap it up here so
We
that
have
we get
plenty
a background and then
questions.
know how we are. So for the anticipatory breach, I can say I'll marry you when your dad turns 60 years, right? Before your dad turns 60, I marry somebody else. In that case, I've breached. But that is not enough because it could be in two circumstances. If I say I'm going to marry you under customary law, in that case, I've not breached. If I marry the other person under customary law, because in customary law, the man can marry as many women that he can live with and conveniently manage.
Oh, thank you.
Right? So if I say I'm going to marry you on this day, and we agree that the marriage is going to be under customary law, and before that day, I go and marry somebody else under customary law, you can't go and sue me that I've breached the promise. Because I still have the right to add you to the wife I already have.
I will not become
add you.
But
Don't add me.
Oh, Chairman, please, it's allowed in Ghana.
it's allowed. Ghana, I mean,
Okay.
our customary law is very important to what we do.
Okay.
And we see customary law marriage as part of it. In the alternative, if I promise to marry you under the ordinance, it's one man, one wife. So the moment I marry somebody before you, then I put myself out of the power to contract the second marriage. So in that case, then you can
carry you to court.
But I mean, going to court doesn't mean you'll be successful. That's
I'll
another
look
thing.
for correct
And then
lawyer.
Take him.
on the man's part, after you've taken him to court, on the man's part, there are certain defenses that he can raise. So he can
Like-
go and defend himself.
Okay.
Like,
Right.
Chama, give
So-
us support. Give us support.
So that's why we have two sides. You go
Give us
to,
support,
you
yeah.
take your lawyer, he also take his
You
lawyer.
give us
Because the lawyer is coming to say
Yeah.
something, right? The man can show up and say that, I promised you in the first place because you made some representation to me which was fraudulent or it was a form of misrepresentation.
Thank
I promised you because you said A, B, C, D.
Thank you.
If I realize the A, B, C, D is not there, why am I still here? Because I
Yeah.
made a promise because I expected to see
these,
A, B, C, D. So then there's fraud on your part. And fraud vitiates all.
So the fraud, can it be at first you are giving me some nice styles that
And then
turn
No,
my
but
head,
that's
that
not-
turn
that's not
my head
fraud.
off.
That's
And
not-
later now
so-
you don't want to give me the styles again, so I can
So
stand
we
on it and
understand
say,
fraud to be
Okay.
you make a representation as to a fact.
Okay,
And you know, a fact is something that we can prove to be true or false.
false.
Okay,
So if I
styles are
express
true.
an opinion, then you can't really say it was fraudulent because it's not a fact. Once we establish that it's a fact, then you made that representation knowing that it is not true, or you didn't believe that it is true. Right? So it's either you knew it wasn't true, or you didn't even believe it was
it
true.
was true.
And then you told me with the intention of getting me to make the promise. So there was some intention of committing fraud in your mind, right? So in that case, I can come and say that, well, my lord, I said I'll marry her because A, B, C, D, that's what she told me. But then it's not there. We can also go ahead and then look at some kind of your bad character. So if in the community you are known to be some kind of person who is a deal breaker, I mean, we know some of the things that it's not like maybe you
Chama,
can't wash,
mention it, I
you
beg.
can't cook.
We are red
If you
flag. We are
mentioned
red
that-
banana. Our num.
Not being able to cook or what is not
Oh,
a bad
mention
character.
It's not a
Yeah,
bad
Chama.
character.
But if you are known to be maybe sleeping around with men,
Man.
you're a
Dis-
thief.
Oh,
Disruptive
Chama,
fighter.
you're a thief.
Chama, please take that one out because the guy is sleeping around with other girls. So
No,
if the
but
girl
I
is
mean-
also- if the girl is also doing it, it should be allowed, please.
And let me clarify something. So for these defenses I've mentioned already,
Yeah.
it's only on the part of the person that you are suing. So if you are suing me, then I come to court to say that, well,
Okay.
you committed a fraud, right? But you can't come and raise a fraud as your defense. Because you committed a fraud, so what really are you coming
Yeah,
to
yeah.
raise as a defense, right?
Completely
You'll be in
understand.
breach. So even if you raise a fraud, they will still tell you to pay me some money for what you've put me through. But if I raise them, they say, okay, the fraud's actually there. I don't pay you anything. I'm gone. I'm free.
Wow.
It could be also that you have like a mental or bodily infirmity, right? For you to enter into a contract, you have to understand the nature and consequence of what you are getting yourself into.
Yeah.
So if your mind is not good to the point that you don't even know what's happening, then in that case, it could be both sides. I can say, I'm not marrying you because I'm mad. My mind is not good enough to understand nature and
Understand.
consequence. I can say I'll marry you because you are mad. You can't understand. So it goes both ways.
Both ways.
The first two goes one way. The first two go one way. But these two, I can say on your part or on my part. Or let's say you have a bodily infirmity. Maybe you don't have a womb, something that makes you like there's no way the marriage we will expect to see the outcome of being a marriage, having children and all that, right? But you can only rely on that if it's something that you cannot cure. If at the point of realizing there's an infirmity, it's something that can be cured, then you don't have a
Hallelujah.
defense. So
If
the
not-
best
Lawyer,
option is to
lawyer question. You were talking about infirmity, being mad. So imagine I also come and lift up a defense that I said all those because I was induced, and that day she was treating me to some nice drinks, and I was.
And that made you say
my
that.
heads were drumming me. And there were
No.
some.
So
yes.
really from the circumstance, like I said,
Yeah.
if it was just in the room and then
Oh no, but people were
something
around.
like
But it was
And then
a
you make
party.
a- you make
There
a
was it was
promise
a
like that.
party
You
and I
can't
was
come and
drinking.
say-
No,
when you
no,
have witnesses,
Yes, I was
they can
drink-
call those
No, but I was
witnesses
drinking
against
and I
you,
was-
right?
I was hyper
no,
and I was
because you
happy,
see,
yeah.
you see, there's no way you go and buy a ring, you do a setup, and you've not thought about.
You've not thought about
What
it.
you are-
No, this one I didn't do a
Proposing to
setup.
a woman.
If you didn't do a setup,
This
maybe
one I didn't do a
there are
setup. It
people
was a house
here.
party. It was a house party. I just got up and I said,
I
knelt down. I knelt down, baby.
Without a
Baby,
ring, all those
because
things. They
I was-
won't
I
see
was-
it
I
as
was-
serious,
I was so
right? Or
drunk.
maybe we saw you to be drunk, like nobody
And
would
then
think
you
you are
did-
serious.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
right?
but the girl took it serious. because
Exactly.
she
That's
was
why.
in love.
That's why when you get there, the first thing we have to see is whether the promise was seriously made.
Okay.
If we are not able to cross that hurdle, then we even check if there was a breach because we are
Yeah.
done. There was no promise at all.
Definitely.
Right. So you force up.
Okay.
So the last defense that I'm going to talk about is
Yeah.
mutual agreement. We can agree that we want to
Oh, okay.
stop the relationship. In that case, you can't later go and say that.
Okay, so that one we both mutually agreed that
If-
the relationship
yes.
is not going forward, it's not going back, it's not going side
So
and side.
we've
It's a
stopped.
broken pen.
It's a broken
It's a
pen.
broken
Let's
pen.
break it. A worry.
Exactly.
But I'm coming to the ladies. Let me start with Fanais.
Fanais.
If you were the man's wife and you found out that your husband had promised another woman that he was going to marry her and even gotten her pregnant, what would you do? It will be bewu.
Fanais.
Eh.
Yeah.
Wallahi, somebody go die.
If I was the man's wife,
Yeah.
I would also start taking plans from there. Maybe I would
Take
start
plans.
the process, the divorce process that had to happen that didn't happen. I would start
nice.
from there because,
Somebody like that, you can't
Me,
even
I-
trust them anymore.
yeah, I like running. So, because I feel like there are other chances, like there are other
Yeah.
people. You can't waste your time with this
With
person.
yeah,
He's
when there are
lying
so
too
many
much.
options out there,
Yeah,
opportunities for you. And your mom, what will you do if you're the boss?
Outside. I'm gone. I mean, I feel like if we got to the point where we wanted to get a divorce, it wouldn't work anymore. Like we got to that point where we started a divorce process.
Yeah.
It means we both decided that we didn't want it anymore. So whatever brought us back, I don't think is strong enough to keep us forever. Plus, if you really wanted to mend things, you wouldn't have started a marriage process with somebody
Exactly.
else. Like, it's not like you got into a relationship. You were getting married.
That's tough.
No,
Oh.
it's
Hey,
That's
you're now.
tough.
It's like you're
Hey,
getting
you're now,
married.
please. This
Zico.
thing, it is
Zico.
not possible. You are in love. You are head over heels in love
But
with
I also feel
somebody.
like no.
If you're head over heels
No,
in
you are in
love, I
love.
feel like
No.
you're just coming out of a bad marriage.
Yes, I'm
So
talking about you, the wife.
You
No,
should know that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
And
There are lots of
shouldn't
emotions
rush.
at
Yeah.
stake. So you should
I
be
want to
able
put
to
you on the spot
decipher.
as the wife. Yeah. Let's not shift. Right now, we are on you being a wife.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see that point of you being a wife.
All right.
I love my husband.
Okay.
Come on, we've struggled since university days.
Sure. If your husband show you shit and you want to divorce,
no man they show you shege. Oh. In this one,
Hey.
no man they show any woman
Hey.
shege. We just
What's
they show
that supposed
shege
to
men
because
live in the middle of a desert
Oh, no,
without
no,
water.
no.
Don't play.
No man will do that.
Like,
no
and
man
you're
will do
living
that.
in the middle of a desert without water, in heels and no way.
Oh, no, right, the
The
men will
sun is
change.
burning and then you have no water. And you are on heels.
Alright, the men know we change. Right, the men know we change.
You
In this-
are a
in this-
classic
in this
example of you have not
economy,
changed.
We all will change. We all will change. But see, as a wife, you love your husband.
Yeah.
You guys have been through some phases. There are kids in the picture. Yes, something came up. You decided to give it a little pause. And you got overly inflamed and you said, I want us to have a divorce.
So if my husband is abusing me and I decide I want a divorce, I should come back.
Yeah. He was abusing you.
Just because he didn't kill me that time, I should come back so that
yes,
we
he didn't
finish.
kill you.
He should
So,
finish
so,
the
so
job.
imagine he came back and it was all lovely.
It wasn't all lovely. I'm pretty
you guys
sure he
did the
went to
thing
test the
again.
waters. He didn't like it.
You
and he
guys
was
did the
back.
thing again.
I was going to say
Yes.
that.
You guys
What
did the thing
if there
again.
was no divorce? There was nothing.
It was just a
He was
scam from the
lying.
man.
I was
Yes.
saying
It was
that
just a-
because
So
Oh, no,
that
How
just
will you
envelopes
know?
the fact that he's a liar.
No. The man cannot lie.
Facts.
A man cannot lie.
A man
In this
cannot
one,
lie.
a man can never lie.
no, I feel like the man was lying.
Yes.
because
Oh, please, come on.
if you were really in the middle of a divorce, I feel like that's the first thing I would tell somebody that I'm going out with.
Yes.
And she told the
I
lady.
like you, but
No,
I'm in
please,
the
she
middle of
told
a
the
divorce,
no,
so
she
like,
told the
So
lady.
she knows how to
No,
No,
play
you
her
guys
cards.
shouldn't do this.
Yes.
She
7 months
told
after.
no. The time you come. She told the lady
7 months
No.
after.
No, he told her 7 months later.
it was 7 months.
Go back and read it. It's on our social
I
media
get you.
platforms.
But it was 7 months after that the lady got to know that the divorce that the man said he was.
No, Zico.
No.
Zico.
No.
Listen to
They
the
were
story.
talking
He said-
I'm confused. I'm lost
Yes,
now.
yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are
lost.
I'm lost.
Because he
I'm
said-
lost at sea.
I am in the middle of a divorce with my wife.
Yes.
And then she said, wife, divorce. She didn't know there was a wife. She didn't even know there was a divorce.
No. She knew there
I feel
was.
like we need
She
to read
didn't
the,
know.
read the
Yes,
story.
she
let's
didn't know.
but no, but she knew.
She didn't know.
From
She didn't know,
lawyer,
no, so-
She didn't
lawyer,
know.
In the middle
lawyer,
of
please,
the
you took
story,
critical
she said-
details of
She
each
did.
sentence and passage. the girl knew because
She did it.
Can
because,
somebody just bring up the story?
I really wish I could.
because at a point you could see the girl saying wife because yes, she knew the wife is out of the picture. So why are you bringing the wife
No,
back
that was
again?
the last
No,
part.
that was the last part.
Yes,
That was the last part.
because
When
of
he
the
came
girl-
back.
The girl knew the wife was out of the
Zico,
picture.
I think you should go back and
Yeah.
read the
Yeah,
story.
you need to
You
read
need
the
to read the
story
story again.
You need
But
to.
all the same, the wife.
But the girl too should
forgot
have
what it is.
asked for some papers, yeah, to confirm it.
Because, but Esquire,
Yeah.
Esquire.
Yeah.
Now put yourself in the shoes of this man. You're in the middle of a divorce with your wife. You feel like, okay, it's going to end either way, so let me just start life. Because if it's going to end next year, I'll still have to start a new relationship. So while we're in the middle of the proceedings, I can as well start a relationship. And now you met somebody. Isn't it right that you tell the person at once?
For my experience, I don't think I even put myself in that situation in the first place.
Oh, lawyer.
Because
Defend the men. I
9
beg you.
out of 10 times, they're likely to come back. They always say lawyers are always made third parties. You can show up in courts and then you see them come wearing matching clothes. People that are trying to break up.
Right.
So until the process is completed, don't put yourself in that situation. Else you are likely to open yourself up to these legal actions, right?
Yeah.
Because first off, if you go and promise somebody while you know you are married, first, if it's marriage under the ordinance, you can't add any other person, and the marriage has not been dissolved, so you are still married technically.
So you're still married.
So we can see the married men that lied to us, right?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Please,
Can I
then don't
take a
try.
number?
Because
Please
there's
don't try.
definitely a breach of
Okay.
I can
promise.
take
He
a number.
can't be
Yes.
married.
Madam, please don't try.
And he made that representation that he will marry you.
Lawyer,
No,
please
no.
tell
Yes.
them.
Open
Lawyer,
it
please
with
tell
his
them they
sense
know.
Somebody
They know
in a
and they-
process,
No, but if
you
you
should
know-
be
Yes,
hidden.
they know.
If you know, then
They know
you
and
can't
they
show
are.
Half of the
them.
time you
That's
know.
why.
Half the time
That's
you
why I'm
don't
telling
know.
Fine,
the
if you
lady
don't know,
to
it's
be a
different.
proud side chick.
But she,
But nobody
Enjoy
wants to be
your
a
role.
side chick.
Enjoy
None of
it.
us want to be side
she
chicks.
was
Enjoy it.
she was in
Fine,
Kumasi
let's
and
hear
then
you.
he was in Accra. So
Yes.
she wouldn't
so
know
she
much.
wouldn't even have
You-
known.
oh.
She wouldn't know much.
She wouldn't have
can't-
known.
If you don't know, you are safe.
Okay.
But
You
if
see?
you know, I mean, you have knowledge of the thing. You can't come and say that.
Yeah.
And if you know, then she agreed to be the
Exactly.
side chick.
Exactly.
You can shout.
But she didn't know.
She didn't know. And in her mind, oh, I've gotten
We are
somebody that we're
dating.
going to get married soon. And then,
And for you to come to my dad and then
hey,
Yeah, like
not
he
nice.
was all
that's
the
crazy.
way.
So that's
And
like-
the brother too. Let me not
but
catch
you know it was always one-sided.
Let me
But
not
brother,
catch
She
you
couldn't
can't-
meet
The
any
brother,
of the
I can bet
Yeah,
on
the
everything
guy's
that at
parents.
some point he got to know that.
But we don't know that. We are.
know.
Yeah,
I'm going to
and it's,
assume-
it's
not
very
stated
dangerous
anywhere.
to
Yes.
assume.
I'm going to assume
That
he
was-
did.
If you assume anything you to cause, you pay. Oh.
If they
very
go there,
dangerous
so
to
that I
assume.
don't know brothers. How will I know if he told her or did
Trust me, if you,
He
you
told
don't
him
know
or he didn't
everything
tell
about
you.
your siblings. You don't know everything.
No, but I feel like marriage, and because he was trying to marry this lady as well,
No,
I don't
but-
think he would hide marriage from his brother.
That's if he actually meant that he wants to
But you
marry her.
went
in
to
the
see
first-
her parents.
No.
Ah.
So we went to visit. I see your parents. I told them I'll marry you. So like, sending a whole group of people to go and say that you've seen a flower in your house. You come to
Yes.
pluck. No.
Yeah, that's
Just
different.
maybe your mom had made some nice fufu. I wanted to like you, so I'm just
Chairman,
saying.
mention that
Wait,
word
no
again.
worry, no. No,
Yeah.
I need
Because people take their boyfriends to the house every time. The parents think they come, then they break up. Nobody really.
Maybe if I take you to my parents and you break up, I'll hold your neck.
Oh yeah,
Saga. Hey.
yeah.
So now I will still have to take another person.
Take
to
another
my,
person
my,
home.
my father will think I'm not serious.
But it happens. It is life.
It's life.
Life,
So
life
how many
happens.
people
So.
you now take
Eh,
home?
My dear, life happens. See.
Until you find the
Yes,
right
until you find the right one.
Hey, 20.
How many
Oh.
people?
The number of me increasing. Hey,
That's
so
so
I'm coming
nice.
to you, Fanais. How strong do you think this child support business or child support law is effective in Ghana?
child support.
Me, they have plenty to say. They'll do child support after the child is born. No?
I don't. Maybe 50-50.
Some
Because
people.
a lot of people complain, and
That's-
it's that it doesn't work for them. The fact they'll go to the court and everything, but then they'll still call the fathers, and then they won't show up. They won't send money. They can't do anything. Then they would have to find their way and then take care of the kids. And it works for others too.
And you know,
I don't think it works.
yeah, dear.
Because even
Run
people
away
that,
to Kumasi right now.
people that are
Here
even
for me.
living with their husbands, the men don't take care of the kids. So
Talk less.
you're now
Baby mama.
you're in Accra and you're in Kumasi. I don't think you can hold them accountable. They'll do it if they want to do it. I don't think you can drag them to court. They will not pay.
Hey, you now.
They will not pay.
Hey, you now.
That's
Ghana now, the
fine.
society is supportive enough. So please enjoy it that way. If we come through to help you, bless God. If
Have
we
you
don't
seen
have,
the way people are suffering?
if we don't have,
Bringing up children by
if,
themselves.
yes, if we don't have, if we don't have, understand us when the time is right, we'll come through looking for our children.
And it's the whole
to take care of
stereotype
them.
that comes with it.
Please.
That if you're a child that was brought up by a single mom,
Yes.
they have emotional and psychological issues.
have daddy
They don't know how.
issues.
Exactly.
It's not true. It's never true.
It's true.
See, they always run. These
It's
are
never
things that
true.
we see every time.
But my dear, see, Ghana here, the way the system is.
The system doesn't even help us.
From nuclear, extended family support, society
Nuclear
support.
to extend it.
No,
First
no,
of all,
Let me
if
tell
you
you,
have a child
I
out of
know
wedlock,
of people
your
that have been unable
chances
to
of
take
having-
their children to the
Family
the
gatherings.
father's family, because the father's family don't want to see the child, the father doesn't want to see the child, so it's your sole responsibility.
And even your family doesn't want to see
Doesn't
the
yes,
child.
It
because
happens
you've
here in Ghana.
disappointed
Happens
them,
because
you've
you've
embarrassed
had
them.
a child
Here in
out of
Ghana.
wedlock. Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Lots of
I beg,
parents
please,
that
after the show, show me one example. Me, I know see
you
some.
don't
Well,
know
we'll show
people
you.
that
For
their
me, I know-
parents
oh, yeah, me, I
put
know
them
see some-
out
me, the
because they
people I
got
see, oh.
pregnant out of wedlock.
I know
I
a
mean, many
couple.
a time when
I know a couple.
we're
Yeah.
listening to stories about people that are living on the streets, their stories are all the same. They say, oh, I got pregnant and then my parents weren't ready. They felt like I had disappointed them. And then I started living on the street, fending for myself and my child. Esquire, how strong is that law?
The law works. It's one thing.
Thank you.
The law is one thing.
Okay.
Enforcing it's another
It's
thing.
another thing.
You can go to court, they will say the man should pay you 5,000 cedis every month. You've gotten the order, but now getting the man to pay is another headache. But the law itself works.
Yeah.
Right? So then, mostly when it comes to these things, it's custody that's if the man is even interested in taking care of the child, right? So you'll be there one day and then you are served with some court process saying that somebody is fighting for custody of the child. Maybe the man now wants the child. Or the woman can go and say you want some kind of maintenance for the child. Because automatically once you belong to the man, you have a right to a portion of whatever he owns. So as a child, you're entitled to a portion of your parents' property. Right? So maybe you can go to court to make that order. Or the man sues you for custody. That's a whole consideration on its own, even determining who we are going to give the child to, right? But as to whether they will say the man should pay money to maintain the child, they are going to. But whether he can get the money is also another thing.
Yeah, because I've seen, I have a friend, it wasn't planned, and the child came about. He decided, you know what, I was going to take responsibility, although his family didn't want to accept the child. Then the woman, I don't know, you see, sometimes women too, we are part of the problem. Oh. He was paying everything, and then she took him to court to say that when the child came to stay with him, he poisoned the child. So they started doing this court runs, and every time they would ask her for evidence of it. You said he poisoned the child. Okay, fine. Where is your evidence? When you went to the hospital, where is the hospital statement? My sister kept giving excuses to say. At one point, the court told her that she's not serious. They're throwing the case out of court because. Are you serious, my dear? You're not serious. What is that? You're not serious. You just want to catch somebody starting to prison.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah,
She
then
probably
can we
wanted
ask
to
that
get the
question?
man back.
Yes.
Yeah, can we ask that question?
That.
As men from the streets, that is it deliberate that people also try to get pregnant just to lock up some
Look,
men?
this one, I can side with you because this very story that I'm telling you about, this was a man that he was younger than the woman, and he was like 19 years and she was like 30 years old. Yes. Some bema masunya di.
That be, and yes, I swear, ding, baby, a day, baby, a day.
You know, and he didn't want, obviously he's just 19, he obviously doesn't want a kid, and then she kept insisting that, oh, I want to marry you, and bear in mind he's not a Ghanaian, so you see she got that idea that if he marries me,
Green card.
you get, and then they did their thing, got intimate and everything, and he expected that after the next morning she's going to get like pills, or only for her to show up 3 months later that I'm pregnant. And I tell you, when you take a look at the child, you just know that this one it is for you. This one you can't even deny that it is not your child. And since then, he has had to pick up that responsibility from the time he was 19 till now. So I do understand where you are coming from a
Men
little
from
bit.
the streets, we know it happens.
It happens, but so yeah, ding. That's what I used to do.
Yeah, and yeah, I
used
saw
to
you.
pin
See,
you down.
imagine Adam being alone, talking to God. Adam also won't pay because he saw the three animals in pair. You were desiring that he also get a pair, and you were locked down. And when he came, he said, "God, is that son that is the woman he gave me? So it's normal."
Zico, I won't mind you.
You should mind
But
me.
guys, we've gotten to my favorite part of the segment. Look into my eyes. You all are my new guests on my show. So look into my eyes is where you look directly at your camera, and then you lay a piece of advice to our lady that wrote the story to us. So let me start with Fun Eyes. You just look into your camera, and then you lay a piece of advice to her.
Okay, to the lady or
Yeah, to the lady or anybody else that may be going through the same situation.
okay. So I think that background checks are very important, and then they should provide evidence. If you are divorced or divorcing, provide evidence. Let me see. You could lie, but then at least let me see that before I move on with anything I want to do with you. Yeah.
Okay. And you know,
Yeah.
tell us something. Yes.
I think right now she's already in the situation,
Yes.
so she needs to accept, like, where she is, take up her responsibility. Luckily for her, his brother is supporting her. He's sending her money. Just take your L. It is what it is, right?
is what it is.
Just moving forward, you need to be careful. You need to check. I feel like if you want to go into a marriage with somebody, you should do your due diligence. Like,
Yes.
check back to back. See, it's a marriage. It's long term. It's
More
not.
than anas,
It's
really,
not.
yeah,
It's not a
anas.
boyfriend. So
Yes.
you need to really, check before you
Very well.
check inside before you take action.
Esquire, let's hear your professional advice.
So this is not professional advice. So anyway,
Of
so,
the books.
Yeah,
Of the
exactly.
books now, of the
so I mean, due diligence, you can do it, but it doesn't guarantee anything, right? And you've gotten to the point that this has already happened. There's a child. Your focus now should be how to make the child's life better. This back and forth. The guy has made his position clear. He's already married. If it's ordinance marriage, he can't even argue in the first place. So there's nothing you're going to fight for. You may decide to go to court, but there's no guarantee that you're even going to get a remedy based on your circumstance, right? So just focus on the child. Find a way to make the child's life better. You'll be fine. I mean, you'll heal. You go on with life, and life
Meet
goes on.
another man.
Yeah.
Before we finally wrap up, let me read this very interesting comment. Mark X Max said he was never divorced. Sorry, you'll be fine. Miss Kenu said, but she visited the guy in Accra at times. So where does she sleep with him? And the brother, being his boss, couldn't come clean to her. Oh, why are some men like this, cra? Ache
People are
said,
blaming the boss
another
for no
episode of Boys will show you.
You should leave the
Location
house.
manager
I said
says,
that.
so far as he's taking care of you and the baby, calm down and be the second wife.
Thank you.
Everything
I
will be
appreciate
fine.
being a side chick.
And Ifya Della says, men, oh, David, this is so heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, there's heartbreaking, but don't you just like pick
Take
the
it like
L and
that.
just
Take your
figure
L,
out,
man.
you know, there's always a silver lining to everything. So just look for that silver lining.
You have a child. That's your silver lining.
Yeah, that's the silver lining.
Yeah.
Children are gifts, eh? They are
From God.
This
I am a
economy.
gift too.
Yes, you
I am
are
a gift. I'm
You are
a pure gift.
Children are gifts. But guys, that's about it for today's show. I hope we're able to mend this broken pen to the best of our abilities. Before we go, Betway says I should remind you that, are you ready to get way more chances to win with Betway? Every single day, you have the key to unlock 5 free spins on Mega Money Wheel, where you stand to win a massive 1 million Ghana cedis jackpot. 1 million. So what are you waiting for? Log in today and take your spin, all thanks to Betway. Remember, terms and conditions apply. All of your bets are regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Remember to bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. And guys, it's on. Join us for the Cross It Out concert this October as we climax our year-long breast cancer awareness campaign with a thrilling concert with your favorite female artists. Mark your calendars for Friday, 18th of October 2024 from 6 p.m. at Alliance Fiancé Accra. Performing live will be the sensational EFYA, Efia, Felinuna, Titi Owusu, Maya Blue, Chayuta, Dakwa, Senti, S the Legend, Kiki Celine, and DJ Nice. Backed by the Afro Harmony Band and hosted by Ghana's favorite twins, Lali and Lola. Together, we're crossing out the risks, fear, and stigma attached to breast cancer by raising funds for our annual breast cancer outreach and treatment campaign, Cross It Out. For tickets, please dial *365 *88 *455#, or you can visit mx24.app/crossitout tickets. You can also get free tickets from now to the 15th by getting a free breast cancer screening at any of our branches of our official hospital partner, Life Check Health Center. Go ahead, set a reminder, get screened, and cross it out. The Cross It Out concert is sponsored by Top Choco, Flora Tissues, Tango Washing Powder, McPhillips Foods, IBM Petroleum, and media partners YF. We have come to the end of today's show, and it wouldn't have been possible without Telecel Ghana, Bedway, and Nax Calabash and Cocktail. To our crew backstage, you know how we do it. We say a big thank you for your effort in making this a success. To my guests, thank you so much, Enyonam. Thank you so much, Christ. Fanais, thank you. Next time when you come, you bring me Fanais, right? My name is Yavita. I'll see you same time next week. Bye.